AI image editors don't replace creativity. Instead, it helps drive creativity by removing the need to manually do repetitive tasks. The best AI image editors, when used properly, can help save time and give you the inspiration needed to let creativity thrive. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best AI image editing tools in the Adobe ecosystem. Now, I'm excited to be partnering with Adobe to bring you this video as they have a ton of great AI features built directly into their photo editing tools, Adobe Firefly, Photoshop, and Lightroom, and show you exactly what each one does best with real-world examples. Whether you're doing AI-assisted portrait retouching, object removal, or full creative exploration, I'll show you what to use and when. What is the best AI image editor in 2026? Well, let's dive in and check them out. Before we get into each tool, here's what separates a great AI photo editor from a gimmicky one. The best AI image editors integrate generation, cleanup, and enhancement directly into real editing workflows. First, let's look at Lightroom. When people ask, what is the best AI image editor for everyday photos, Lightroom is one of the first answers I'd give. Adobe Lightroom has several AI-powered photo enhancement features that can be used alongside more precise, manual tools to help really bring your photos to life. Let's see how we can use these features in a real-world example. In this example, I'm going to be taking a photo of some hot air balloons and enhancing the detail and colors inside Lightroom. I'll also show you how some of the AI-powered image editing tools work for portraits as well, making it one of the best AI photo editors for everyday photographers who want great-looking images. Alright, I'm inside Adobe Lightroom, and to get started, I'm going to click on Select Photos. I'm going to choose Select Them here. I'm going to choose to upload this photo here of some hot air balloons, and then this portrait. With them both selected, I'm going to click Open, and then I'm going to choose to upload two photos. Once they're done, I'm going to click Finish, and then I can select the first one here, the hot air balloons. Now, one of the coolest AI features inside Lightroom is the ability to remove distractions or different objects from your scene. For example, let's say if you wanted to remove one of these hot air balloons, it's really easy to do that. You can head over to the Remove tab on the right-hand side, and we can easily brush out different objects that we want to remove from our scene. So for example, if we want to remove this hot air balloon, I can easily just brush over it. And then to the right here, just make sure Subtract is selected and click Apply. Once it's done, you'll notice that we've removed our hot air balloon. We can click on this Show Overlay to see how it looks without it. And you can see it's completely removed. Now what's nice is, let's say if you have a different photo with people in it and you needed to remove a bunch of people from your scene, you have this distraction removal down below for people. So depending on your own shot, it can be quite helpful to use this tool. Another AI feature that's really nice inside Lightroom is that you can automatically make auto enhancements to your image. If we head over to the Quick Actions tab on the right-hand side, we have this Auto Light and Color button. We can click on it, and you can see that it automatically color corrects our image for us. In addition to auto enhance, we also can choose from several presets directly inside Lightroom. If we head over to the Presets tab, you can see that there's several presets to choose from. You also have access to some recommended presets from the Lightroom community. But for now, let's head over to the Premium tab and find a nice autumn preset for this image. I'm going to go down to Seasons Autumn, and you can scroll and preview the different presets by clicking on them one at a time here to see the impact they have. Each one has a slider, so you can easily click and drag to the left or right to either decrease the amount that's being applied or to increase the style. So you can scroll through and select one that you like. I like this one. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, maybe to around 65 here. And that gives a nice look to my image. Now, if you want to take this a step further, you can also do some manual adjustments as well inside Lightroom. If we head over to the Edit tab on the right-hand side, you can see that the AI made adjustments under Light, but if you want to make more advanced adjustments to the color, you can scroll down underneath Color, Color Mixer. Let's say if we want to add maybe some orange warmth to the yellow, we can click on yellow and slide the hue to the left to introduce more orange into the yellow colors. What I really like about this is that you can really take control and dive deep into the colors of your images. Now, let's say if you need to make adjustments to the different parts of your image, let's say the sky, maybe the mountains, you can use AI to do that. If we head back over to the Quick Actions tab and we scroll down, you'll notice that the AI actually auto-recognizes different parts of your image for you. So you can actually control the sky. Let's say if you want to add more emphasis to the sky, you can click and drag to the right. You can see that we're adding more blue or contrast to the sky. You can add or remove emphasis from the mountains as well. So it really allows you to control each part of your image. Let's head over to the second photo. So if we click on our portrait photo, one manual control that I like to use inside Lightroom is the clarity slider. Let's say if you want this image to be more clear and present, you can head over to the Edit tab. And if you scroll down underneath color, you'll notice that you have this effects area. There's this clarity slider that you can click and drag to the right to kind of increase the contrast and the clarity of your image. I also like adjusting the vignette as well. If you click and drag the vignette to the left, it adds a dark vignette around your image, so it brings more emphasis to the subject in your scene. If you click and drag it to the right, it adds a white vignette to your image. I kind of like the dark. Now when it comes to portraits, you can also use AI to make selections to the different parts of your image. Let's say if you wanted to emphasize the eyes or maybe smooth out the hair or the skin, you can do that using AI. If we head back over to the Quick Actions tab, you notice that these controls have changed a little bit. It now recognizes the different subjects in your scene. So in this case, it recognizes this person, and underneath you have different options that you can turn on to enhance different parts of the subject. So for example, if you wanted to add emphasis to the eyes, you can easily turn this on, and you can click and drag the slider to the right to emphasize the eyes. If we click and toggle this on and off, you can see the before and after. So you can see it just adds more white to the eyes. If we zoom in here, you can see the difference before and after. You can also choose to soften the skin as well. So if we turn this on and we click and drag this to the right, you can see we really smooth out the skin. You can see your before and after for the whole image by clicking on this Show Original at the top right. So if we click and hold down, you can see before, and this is after. Using Lightroom, you can accomplish a lot of AI photo editing tasks using several AI-powered features. Now, in addition to Lightroom, let's say if you need to take more control over your photos and do more in-depth adjustments, you can use Photoshop to go even deeper. Let's check out the AI image editing features that Photoshop has to offer. Photoshop is great for more specific adjustments to photos that you can't do in Lightroom. This is also how AI photo editors avoid unnatural results at the compositional level. Every AI edit stays on its own layer, so you're never committing to a change, you're just testing it. Let's say if you want to expand the image or use generative fill to add different elements to your scene. Let's see how we can do this in Photoshop. Alright, I'm inside Photoshop on the web, and to upload a photo, you can click on this Upload File button. I'm going to choose to upload from my computer. I'm going to choose to upload this photo here, and with this we can make a lot of AI enhancements to this image. So I'm going to click Open. The first thing I want to do with this image is actually expand it. So right now it's kind of in a vertical aspect ratio, but let's say if we wanted to expand the left and right hand side of the image, we can use Generative Expand to do that. So if you go over to the Generative tab on the left hand side here, if you go down, there's Generative Expand. So we can click on this here, and what we can do from here is click and drag out the edges to expand our image. So get it to an area that you like. Down below you can type in a prompt if you wish, which is completely optional. You can always just click expand and it will automatically expand it for you. So what I'm going to do now is just click expand, and once it's done you can see your final result here. You get 3 different options. So down below on the menu bar here, you can click through the different options. So you can see all 3 are really great, I think, and give some really creative ideas on how to expand the image. So I kind of like the second one here, so I'm going to go with that. You can also use generative fill to add or remove different elements in your scene. So for example, I can click on it on the top left here. You have different modes that you can select. Right now I'm under brush. So with that selected, I'm going to choose to increase my brush size. And I'm just going to draw out over here in the sky, because what I'm thinking is maybe add an airplane to the sky here. So I'm just going to brush around the area that I want to add an airplane to. And then inside the prompt, I'm just going to add in an airplane. And with generative fill, you have different models here. So if we click on the drop down next to Firefly, you can choose one of the Firefly models, but you also have access to some of the partner models as well. I did want to point out though that the Adobe models are commercially safe. So if you need this to be commercially safe, you can stick with one of the Firefly models. I'm going to click on fill. As you can see, it adds an airplane. And similar to generative expand, we have 3 different options down below. So we can click on the different options here. All 3 look pretty cool. I do like the second one though. I think it kind of adds and composites it nicely here. Now you can use generative fill to add and remove elements, but if you needed to take it a step further, you can also use some of the manual controls inside Photoshop as well. So let's say if we like this image, what you can do from here on the right hand side, you can see that we have the different layers here that we generated. If you didn't want one of these and revert back to the original, you can always hide these layers. So you can see the difference in each one of them. You can see if we hide the background, you can see exactly which each layer is showing. So this is very handy. And like I mentioned, it's non-destructive. So you can always go back to the original image if you needed to. So what we can do here, let's say if we wanted to make more manual adjustments to the airplane, we can click on the airplane layer and go over to the select option. You can use AI to select the different objects in your scene. So in this case, it can recognize the airplane. So I'm going to click on that. And with this selected, I'm going to click on the adjust button at the bottom here. Let's say if I wanted to make some adjustments to the brightness, I can click on brightness and it makes a new layer for me over that other layer. So I can continue making manual adjustments here, maybe to the brightness, the contrast, add some more contrast in there. And you can see if we click off, this layer is over this layer. So we keep adding different layers on top of each other for the different adjustments that we're making. You can use AI to help select and accomplish different tasks, but then you can also choose to make manual adjustments as well. Let's say if you wanted to make an adjustment for everything, what you can do is go over to the adjust panel on the left-hand side, and then just click maybe on hue and saturation. And this adds a new layer, but it's affecting everything. So let's say if you wanted to boost the saturation, you can click and drag this to the right to boost it. And this layer will affect all the other layers underneath it. But those are some ways that you can use AI features inside Photoshop along with the manual controls as well. You can explore a lot of creative photo editing enhancements using these AI photo editing features inside Photoshop. Now, if you want to take AI image editing even further, you can also explore Adobe Firefly. Adobe Firefly is a great place to start if you need some inspiration for your project. If you're asking what is the best AI image editor for creative exploration, this is it. You can use Firefly to generate images, replace backgrounds, use it for style exploration, and ultimately use it to make prompt-based edits for creative iteration. Let's use a real-world example to see how we can use Firefly. Let's say if you are an interior designer, or maybe you're just looking for some new furniture ideas for your home. You may be wondering how certain pieces of furniture would look in a specific space. You can use Firefly to give you some inspiration on how a space can look. Alright, so I'm inside Adobe Firefly, and the first place I wanted to show you is over to the left-hand side next to boards. I find using Firefly boards really helpful for style iteration. So let's say if we wanted to create a new board, we can click on this button here. We can choose to upload a file, so I'm going to click upload here. And like I mentioned, we're going to use this photo here. So we're going to see and give Firefly this image and have it recommend different furniture and things to add into this scene. So I'm going to open this image. So from here, what I can do is click on this generate image button at the bottom here. And for the image, I'm going to choose sample from canvas and then just select this image here. So the prompt I'm going to add in here is add some furniture that would look nice in this home, maybe a couch on the right-hand side and a dining table on the left-hand side. And similar to Photoshop, you have different models down below. You can click on the drop down. You can see that we're under one of the partner models now. So I'm going to click on Gemini and click generate. As you can see, we have our output. So we can click on this here, go to place on canvas. I'm just going to place it right next to this image. So I'm going to place it over here. And if we scroll over here and we zoom out, we can see that it kept the original image, but it added in some nice different elements to our scene. And from here, what we can do is click on this vary button. So if you wanted the same image, but in different variations, the vary button can be very helpful to explore style exploration. So if you click on this vary button and you click on more like this, I'm going to select to choose and place this grid to the right here by just clicking. It'll give you a bunch of options that are very similar to this, just in a different style. So as you can see, we have a bunch of different variations based on that image. And what's nice about boards specifically inside Firefly is that you can zoom in. So if you wanted to zoom in, you can zoom in and scroll around so that you can see the different ideas for the different furniture that you placed in that original reference photo. And to take it even further, let's say if you like one of these, maybe this one, you can even click vary again and continue making variations for style exploration, or you can choose to also edit this image. So if you click on edit, you have a lot of AI tools that you can use to edit this image. So let's say if you wanted to remove different elements from your scene, you can click on this remove button. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm just pinching on my trackpad. I'm going to remove this plant on the right-hand side. So I'm just going to click and brush around to remove this area here. I'm going to click remove. As you can see, it kind of removes it. Doesn't do all the way. We can click keep And what we can do is do it one more time to remove it even further. So I'm going to go to Edit, Remove, and then just keep brushing over this until we select it all, and then click Remove once again. As you can see, now it removes it completely, being a little bit smaller of a subject. We get 3 different options, all look really good here. We can keep this one. I'm going to zoom out, and since we are working with this one, what we can do from here is just click and drag this and make it bigger by clicking and dragging on the corner here. So we can click and drag to make this bigger. You can really rearrange these any way you wish inside boards. So it's really good for style exploration, style iteration. Another thing that you can do in here is add different elements to this photo. So you can go to Edit and go to Insert and actually brush in an area and describe what you want to insert. So let's say if we wanted to maybe add a clock over here, we can just brush around in the area that we want to add a clock. And then down below, I'm just going to type in add a clock on the wall and then click Insert. And as you can see, we have 3 different options here we can choose from. I'm going to go with this one here, but those are some ways that you can explore Adobe Firefly to get some ideas for your projects. As you can see, using these AI image editing tools can give you the creative control to explore and refine photo projects. Whether you're looking for the best AI image editor for portraits or just everyday creative work, Firefly, Photoshop, and Lightroom each bring something different to the table. Lightroom is best for everyday selective photo edits and retouching. Photoshop for generative compositing and non-destructive edits. And Firefly for AI image generation and creative exploration. If you're interested in using these tools for yourself, you can click on the link below in the video description to get started today. Thank you, Adobe, for sponsoring today's video. If you have any questions about these AI photo editing tools, leave your comments below. Otherwise, that does it for this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.